Have you ever looked up at the night sky and genuinely wondered how our small world fits into the grand, almost, well, unfathomable scheme of the universe?
Hmm.
What if there was like a precise cosmic blueprint, a divine job description even, for the actual beings who create and govern entire sections of reality?
That's quite a thought.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a shortcut to being incredibly well informed about some truly profound spiritual and cosmological concepts.
We're,
Really deep stuff.
we are indeed. We're aiming to pull back the curtain a bit.
Exactly. On the universal mandate required of these powerful beings known as creator sons, and we'll explore the intricate, mind-bending architecture of the cosmos itself.
All drawing insights from some fascinating source material.
Right. Our mission today is, well, it's to distill the most important nuggets of knowledge for you, provide some surprising facts, maybe a few aha moments.
The goal is to help you understand how these sublime truths, these big ideas, connect directly to our own existence. Our spiritual evolution, too.
Yes, grasping a grand design that kind of elevates your understanding of reality.
Precisely.
So get ready. We're going to unpack what's basically a universal curriculum for these cosmic leaders,
We'll find out why there were around 700,000 of them.
and how our own planet, Urantia, what we call Earth, fits into this immense living structure. It's huge.
It really is.
We'll even delve into why we can't see most of this grandeur and what that implies for things like, extraterrestrial contact and UFOs.
Always fascinating topics.
Okay, let's dive in.
Sure.
Imagine this universal requirement, a series of 7 transformative experiences
Uh-huh.
that all creator sons of the Michael order must undergo. These are the architects of local universes, right? Like Jesus was one.
That's the understanding, yes. Michael of Nebadon.
So this isn't unique to just one figure. It's like a foundational path, non-negotiable.
That's right. They have to complete it to earn absolute sovereignty over their local universe.
And it's not just about power, is it? You were saying it's more profound.
Exactly. What's truly compelling here is that this path, it represents a divine curriculum. It's about understanding creatures, gaining administrative wisdom.
So earning the right to govern by actually experiencing life like they're creatures.
Precisely. Governance through empathy, you could say. Earned authority.
Okay. We've touched on the first 4 steps before,
Yeah.
and I remember the 4th one. That required them to portray the absolute pinnacle of creature life
The highest ideal of perfection, yes.
on each level of their bestowal, demonstrating this mastery to the paradise deities and, well, everyone else, cosmically speaking.
All universe intelligences, yeah.
So now we're turning to the final 3 steps. These complete their journey to supreme local universe authority. Step 5, where does that take them?
Okay, step 5 asks each creator son, at every creature level they inhabit, to reveal one specific phase of what's called the sevenfold will of deity.
The 7-fold will. Okay, what exactly is that?
Think of it as the unique ways God's divine personality expresses itself across the vastness of the universe. It represents the diverse combinations of the natures of the Paradise Trinity.
The Father, Son, and Spirit.
Right, the universal Father, the eternal Son, and the infinite Spirit. Their nature is combined in 7 primary ways, and this isn't just a private thing.
No?
No, it's a public, experiential demonstration. It's performed for the benefit of all beings, everywhere, throughout the universes.
Ah, okay, that's a crucial distinction then. Step 4 was demonstrating creature perfection.
Right, the ideal of being a creature.
But step 5 is about manifesting a specific dimension of divine will, an aspect of God's actual nature.
Exactly, that's the core difference.
Get this, these experiences, these bestowals are eternally recorded, like forever.
That's what the source indicates, eternally recorded,
Yeah.
which has huge implications.
What does that mean for, say, future generations? Beings not even born yet.
It means that beings yet unborn, down through the ages, can actually witness these events. They can learn from these foundational revelations as they climb their own path towards paradise.
Wow. Like a cosmic library of lived divine wisdom.
An everlasting curriculum, you could say, available to all who ascend.
That puts an incredible weight and purpose on these actions, doesn't it?
Absolutely. There are foundational acts for their entire universe.
Okay, so moving into step 6. How does the focus shift then? Is it still about revelation or something more?
It shifts towards unity. Step 6 is about unifying that experiential revelation of the Son.
The part they just demonstrated in step 5.
Right. Unifying that with a complete consecration to the nature and will of deity. It's one thing to show the divine will. It's another to embody absolute surrender to it.
Okay, surrender. That sounds intense.
It is. In this step, the Creator Son demonstrates a total yielding, a complete giving over to the specific aspect of the Trinity he's revealing.
Can you give an example?
Sure. So if a Creator Son's Bestowal series is focused on revealing the infinite spirit aspect of the Trinity, his revelation in this step will emphasize the nature and will of that third person of deity.
Okay.
Now, contrast that with Jesus' final bestowal here on Urantia. His focus was on revealing the will of God the Father.
Right. He often said things like, if it be my Father's will.
Exactly. That reflects the Step 6 focus. It moves beyond just demonstrating something to a profound consecration, a total giving in to that divine nature being revealed.
Demonstration versus consecration. Got it. So after all these transformative steps, demonstrating perfection, revealing will, consecrating to it, what's the ultimate culmination? Step 7.
Step 7, the final one. It's described as the most complex, the most profound.
Okay.
Here, the Creator Son achieves a new and higher relationship with the Supreme Being.
The Supreme Being. Okay, we need to unpack that. Who or what is the Supreme Being in this context?
Right, so the Supreme Being isn't part of the Eternal Paradise Trinity. This entity is described as a unique and evolving deity. Yes, evolving. The Supreme Being literally embodies the totality of finite creature-creator experience gathered from all 7 superuniverses, all the struggles, the growth, the achievements.
Wow. Okay, so step 7 involves the Creator Son integrating his own complete bestowal experience. All 7 steps.
Into that larger cosmic reality, the reality of the Supreme Being. And by doing so, the Son actually augments or adds to the sovereignty of God, the Supreme.
That's an immense concept.
Yeah.
So if the Supreme Being is evolving based on finite experience, does that mean it's not yet perfect, like the Paradise Trinity? How should we understand that?
That's a very insightful question. Yes, the Supreme Being is indeed perfecting. It's evolving towards ultimate sovereignty over the entire grand universe, the 7 superuniverses.
So it's a process.
It's a grand cosmic process. Now, each Creator Son, like Michael of Nebadon, he attains full sovereignty over his local universe when he completes his 7 bestowals.
Right, that's the prize, so to speak.
But the combined experiences, the totality of the bestowal journeys of all 700,000 Creator Sons.
All of them.
They directly feed into and help actualize the evolving reality of the Supreme Being.
So it's like each son contributes a piece to this larger, evolving divine consciousness.
That's a good way to think about it. And the idea is when all 7 superuniverses eventually reach a mature, settled state, what's called light and life, then the Supreme Being will emerge as their undisputed, fully actualized sovereign.
Okay, but that doesn't diminish the authority of the individual Creator Son in his own universe.
Not at all. It places his sovereignty within a larger, unfolding cosmic unity. Think of it like this. The central universe, Havona and the Isle of Paradise, they exist as absolute, perfect realities, right?
The unchanging core.
They anchor everything. The 7 superuniverses are evolutionary, anchored to that perfect core. Similarly, the Supreme Being represents the eventual unified sovereignty of the evolutionary creation, while the Creator Sons maintain sovereignty within their specific parts of it.
That helps frame it. Wow. Okay, so to really grasp this, the scope of the Creator Son's work, why there are 700,000 of them, we need to zoom out, you said. Look at the architecture.
Exactly. The structure of the Master Universe itself dictates the need for this number.
How is the cosmos actually organized according to this material?
Well, imagine at the very center you have this perfect, divine headquarters. That's the Isle of Paradise, the absolute center of infinity, surrounded by the billion perfect worlds of Havona.
Where no evolution happens. It's already perfect.
Correct. It's the eternal central creation. Then, radiating outwards from this core are the 7 vast evolutionary superuniverses.
Like huge, distinct cosmic regions under development.
Precisely. And the grand plan, as described, called for each of these 7 superuniverses to eventually contain 100,000 local universes within this current universe age.
Okay, 7 superuniverses times 100,000 local universes each. That's 700,000 local universes.
Exactly. That's the target number for the current age. And since each local universe requires its own Creator Son to, well, create it and govern it.
You need 700,000 Creator Sons, the Michaels.
700,000 Michaels were brought into existence specifically for this role.
Okay, that connects the number to the structure.
Right.
So where do we fit in? Earth, Urantia. Where are we in this staggering scale?
We're pretty far out, relatively speaking. Our world, Urantia, is part of the local system of Titania.
Titania.
That system is just one of 100 constellations within our local universe, which is called Nebadon.
Nebadon, that's our local universe governed by Michael, who is Jesus.
Correct. And Nebadon, our local universe, is just one of the 100,000 local universes that make up our superuniverse, which is called Orvonton.
Orvonton. So system, constellation, local universe, super universe.
It's like a vast cosmic nesting doll structure, yes, with each layer immensely larger than the one inside it.
Mind-boggling scale. And you mentioned this plan isn't static, it's still unfolding.
Absolutely. The plan is ongoing. Besides the 700,000 Michaels assigned to the current 7 superuniverses, there are apparently about 300,000 more creator suns held in reserve.
In reserve? For what?
Ready to be deployed as the cosmos expands further outwards into what are described as the 4 outer space levels currently in formation, beyond the current 7 superuniverses.
So creation is still expanding dramatically.
It highlights the immense scale, yes, and the continuing evolution of divine creation. It's not finished.
Okay, so we have the leaders, the creator sons, and the landscape, the cosmic architecture. What about the fundamental rules, the underlying principles governing how all this operates?
Well, one of the most foundational principles we keep coming back to is that the cosmos is profoundly evolutionary.
Right, things grow and develop.
Exactly. With the exception of that perfect central core paradise in Havona, all of creation is in a state of progressive development.
Nothing starts perfect.
No planet, no system, no civilization is created instantly perfect. Everything progresses gradually. Physical evolution, intellectual development, and crucially, spiritual growth.
And Earth's history is just one example of that.
A microcosm of this universal process, yes. And spiritual development is highlighted as the key, the integrating element. It's essential for moving civilizations beyond conflict towards lasting peace.
That makes sense. Now, you also mentioned reality exists on different levels. 3 interconnected levels.
Yes, that's another key concept. There's the material level, the physical realm, tangible matter, energy, what our mortal eyes can observe, what we experience daily.
Okay, familiar ground.
Then there's the spiritual level, the highest realm. Pure spirit beings and realities beyond material form entirely.
And the one in the middle, Urantia.
Urantia. This is described as a vast, essential transitional phase, a bridge between the material and the spiritual.
A bridge. How so?
It's sometimes described using terms like mind matter or thought matter. It's a realm where beings start shedding purely physical limitations but haven't yet fully achieved pure spirit status. It's semi-physical, semi-spiritual.
And important stuff happens there.
Apparently, yes. Much of the universe administration, the higher functioning aspects of cosmic life, takes place on Urantia levels.
Which leads to the big question, doesn't it? If all this exists, this huge structure, these other levels, why can't we see most of it?
Right. It's a natural question. And the answer is, well, it's multifaceted. Several factors are involved.
Like what?
First, sheer scale. The universe is just vastly bigger than we can easily comprehend. Our world, Urantia, is way out on the fringe of our superuniverse, Orvonton.
So our view is limited.
Very limited. We're mostly seeing nearby stars, the edges of our own galaxy, the central universe, Paradise, Havona. They're impossibly distant, obscured by space and distance from our physical viewpoint.
Location, 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 even in cosmology.
Indeed. But perhaps even more importantly, it's about perception and those levels we just talked about.
The Urantian spiritual level.
Exactly. So much of the universe's administration, the higher life forms, the ongoing cosmic activities function on these Urantia and spiritual planes. And those are inherently invisible to our purely material senses.
So it's not just far away, it's operating on a different frequency, so to speak.
That's a reasonable analogy, yes. Our physical eyes and instruments are tuned to the material level.
It really puts our perception in perspective.
Yeah.
We look up and feel small, but this makes even our galaxy seem like just one tiny, partially seen corner.
It does. It suggests there's so much more grandeur just beyond the reach of our current senses.
Okay, so bring this down to Earth a bit. What does this understanding, the scale, the levels, the evolutionary nature of civilizations imply for all the talk about extraterrestrial life and UFOs?
Well, connecting the dots based on this material, it suggests a few things. First, if we were to have physical contact,
Actual ships landing, beings getting out.
It would almost certainly be with beings from other planets within our own local universe, Nebadon.
Why just Nebadon?
Because travel between local universes, let alone superuniverses, is described as prohibitively long and complex for beings like us, mortal-like physical beings. The distances are just too vast under the described cosmic laws.
Okay, so interstellar travel within a local universe is maybe feasible, but interuniversal travel is practically impossible for physical beings.
That seems to be the implication for mortal-like life. And another crucial point ties into evolution. As civilizations advance spiritually,
Which is the goal, right?
right, they transcend a warring mentality. They become inherently peace-loving, cooperative. So the idea of hostile alien invaders, common in fiction, seems unlikely from truly advanced civilizations according to this view.
So advanced means peaceful, not aggressive.
That's the correlation suggested. And concepts like instantaneous travel, folding space-time.
Wormholes and warp drive.
While fascinating science fiction staples, they don't really align with the described physical laws governing the universes of time and space presented in this source. Travel takes time, even for advanced beings, though they may have very efficient methods within their local space.
That definitely reframes the typical UFO discussion. Okay, so all this context, the creator sons, the structure, the evolution, the levels, it must profoundly change how we view Jesus' mission on Earth.
Oh, absolutely. It transforms the perspective entirely. He wasn't merely a teacher or just a sacrifice in the traditional theological sense.
He was.
He was God incarnate, yes. But specifically, he was Michael of Nebadon, a creator son, completing the seventh and final step of his long bestowal career.
The step needed to achieve full sovereignty over his universe, Nebadon.
Exactly. That was the cosmic purpose of his life on Urantia. And in doing so, he fully revealed the love and nature of the Universal Father.
Showing God's character.
And demonstrating the reality of the brotherhood of all intelligent beings, from the lowest to the highest, across the cosmos.
So the creator sons, through lives like Jesus's, are like living bridges.
That's a perfect way to put it. Living bridges between the infinite reality of God and the finite experience of creatures like us. They close a gap that would otherwise seem impassable.
It's incredible to think about that way. This vast universal plan, 700,000 creator sons, countless worlds, certainly puts our small planet in perspective.
It does, humbling in one sense.
But at the same time, it elevates us, doesn't it? It makes us knowing participants in potentially the greatest story ever told.
The story of divine love reaching down, personally experiencing creature life, to lift those creatures up on an eternal journey towards paradise.
Wow. We have covered a lot of ground today, a real deep dive into this magnificent, loving, universal plan.
Embodied in those 7 experiential steps of the Creator Sons, and reflected in the mind-boggling architecture of the cosmos.
It really paints a picture of a plan designed to ensure that the rulers of these vast universes are sovereigns of, well, impeccable character.
Divine wisdom and perfect empathy. Because they earned their right to govern by literally living as their own creatures do, experiencing it all firsthand.
Understanding this grand design, it really gives you, the listener, essential context. It helps appreciate not just one specific mission like Jesus's, but the very structure of reality itself.
And your unique place within this immense cosmic family. It provides a framework, a way to understand how spiritual, intellectual, and physical evolution are all tied together universally.
So let's leave you with this thought. What does this all mean for your journey?
Consider how our own personal path of growth, physical, intellectual, spiritual, might actually mirror in its own small way this grand evolutionary plan unfolding across countless worlds.
A personal reflection of the cosmic pattern.
What does your next step in that personal evolution look like? And how might understanding this greater cosmic story, this bigger picture we've explored today, inspire that step? Something to ponder.